Have you ever found yourself in a tricky situation where someone publicly disrespects you? Maybe it was a tactless, sarcastic comment in front of others, or an awkward joke that left you feeling undervalued and humiliated. Moments like these can feel deeply unsettling, leaving you wondering, how should I respond? How can you not only maintain your dignity, but also earn the respect of others, even from those who habitually disregard the value of others? If you've ever found yourself asking these questions, don't worry, you're not alone. We've all experienced moments like this, and the fascinating thing is, you have far more control than you might think over how you handle these situations. In this discussion, we're going to unpack some effective tips and psychological techniques to help you navigate difficult moments like these with grace and composure. These strategies are inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy, which teaches us that our responses, not external events, are what define us. By applying these principles, you'll not only learn to handle disrespect calmly, but also transform uncomfortable situations into opportunities to affirm your self-worth and command the respect of others. Stick around as we explore how to respond intelligently, turning challenges into moments of strength and growth. Let's begin by understanding why these situations arise in the first place. More often than not, it's not because people hate you or hold a personal grudge. Instead, it's often a reflection of opportunism, a tendency in some individuals to elevate themselves by diminishing others. These people believe that making you appear weak or uncomfortable will help them stand out more. This behavior is not limited to workplaces. It's also common in social circles, family dynamics, and beyond. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless insights, reminds us that respect is not something you demand or impose. It's something you cultivate through your actions, boundaries, and self-awareness. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In moments of disrespect, your calmness and confidence become your most valuable tools. And while it's important to respond to unpleasant situations effectively, the bigger picture is about creating an environment where respect becomes a given, where no one uses you as a stepping stone to boost their own image. With that in mind, let's explore some practical, powerful strategies you can use to handle disrespect, navigate challenging moments, and embody the principles of self-respect and stoic composure in your everyday life. First, impressions. First impressions matter more than we often realize. They form the foundation of how you are perceived, and interestingly, they're often shaped less by what you say and more by how you present yourself. Imagine this. You're at an important networking event. Someone walks into the room, scans the crowd, and makes their way toward you. They extend their hand for a greeting, but instead of standing up, you remain seated, glance briefly at their hand, and then shake it. Without realizing it, you've conveyed a lack of confidence and signaled that this interaction might not matter much to you. Small actions like this can have a massive impact on how others perceive you. The Stoics understood this deeply. They recognized that simple gestures, like standing up and maintaining eye contact during a greeting, aren't just good manners, they're powerful expressions of confidence and self-awareness. When you rise to shake someone's hand, you're subtly communicating equality, readiness, and mutual respect. This aligns with a key principle of Stoicism. How you present yourself reflects your values and shapes how others see you. Let me share a story. I once attended a professional seminar where networking was the primary focus. Among the attendees, one individual stood out, not because of what he said, but because of how he carried himself. Whether he was greeting a senior executive or thanking a waiter for refilling his coffee, he always stood up, made eye contact, and engaged fully. It wasn't flashy or overdone, but it left an impression. People respected him because his actions projected confidence and sincerity. In contrast, I noticed another attendee who remained seated during every greeting. He didn't mean to come across as disinterested, it was simply a habit. But this minor action created an unspoken barrier. People unconsciously took him less seriously, even though he was just as capable as everyone else in the room. This highlighted an essential truth. Standing up isn't just about politeness. It's about acknowledging the other person's value while asserting your own. When someone interrupts you, interruptions in public conversations can be frustrating and disorienting. You're making a point, and suddenly someone jumps in, derailing your train of thought. The natural reaction is to feel angry or respond sharply, but this often escalates the situation and undermines your composure. Stoicism offers a better way. When someone interrupts you, resist the urge to react impulsively. Instead, pause and fix the person with a steady, calm gaze. This simple, silent act speaks volumes. It signals that their behavior is inappropriate, that you won't tolerate being disrespected, and that you are in control. I once experienced this at a family dinner. While sharing a story, a relative interrupted me to share their own. At first, I felt flustered, but instead of cutting them off, I stopped, looked at them calmly, and waited. The silence lasted only a few seconds, but it carried more weight than any words could have. They quickly realized their mistake, corrected themselves, and allowed me to continue. The rest of the evening proceeded smoothly, and I regained control of the conversation without any drama. This approach works particularly well in public or group settings. By staying composed, you naturally draw attention. Your presence becomes stronger, and you don't need to raise your voice or argue to reclaim your space. Once the interruption is addressed, resume your point calmly. A simple phrase like, "Let me pick up where I left off," asserts your right to speak while maintaining respect for everyone involved. The goal is not to embarrass the interrupter, but to set a clear expectation for respectful communication. Facing humiliating jokes. Humor can be a double-edged sword, especially when someone uses it to humiliate you in front of others. In these moments, your response can shift the entire dynamic of the situation. Once, during a casual meetup with friends, someone mocked me by retelling an embarrassing story from years ago. My initial reaction was to feel embarrassed and fire back. But instead of letting my emotions take over, I leaned on a Stoic principle. What doesn't harm your essence isn't worth your concern. I smiled and calmly asked them to repeat the story. The act of asking them to recount the joke diffused its impact. The group began to sense the awkwardness of forcing someone to retell a joke that wasn't landing anymore. The laughter faded, and the storyteller fumbled, realizing their attempt had backfired. This strategy is powerful because it shows you're unshaken. It highlights the inappropriateness of the joke without retaliating or losing your composure. By remaining calm, you send a clear message. You won't allow small provocations to dictate your emotions. Walking away, self-respect. Sometimes the most powerful response to disrespect is no response at all. Walking away isn't about defeat. It's about setting boundaries and protecting your self-worth. Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect cannot be demanded. It must be cultivated. I once knew someone, Sarah, who worked tirelessly on a major project, only to be constantly ridiculed by her manager. One day, during yet another dismissive meeting, she calmly closed her laptop, stood up, and stated that she would put her energy where it was valued. That same day, she resigned, not out of anger, but as an act of self-preservation. Months later, she joined a new company where her talents were celebrated. Walking away doesn't signify weakness. It's a declaration of strength. It's a way of saying, "I know my worth, and I won't remain in an environment that undermines it." Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Walking away exemplifies this principle. It's not about controlling the actions of others, but about controlling how you respond to them. By choosing to leave situations that diminish you, you affirm your value and set a standard for how you deserve to be treated. Remember, walking away isn't just about physical departure. It's about emotional disengagement too. It's refusing to internalize negativity or let it define your self-worth. The next time you find yourself in a situation where disrespect persists despite your efforts, consider walking away, not out of anger, but out of respect for yourself. It's the ultimate act of self-respect and a powerful reminder that your energy is best invested where it's appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to explore these strategies for handling disrespect with grace and confidence. Each approach we've discussed, from reclaiming your voice to walking away, offers a unique way to affirm your self-worth and command respect. Remember, Stoic composure isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about channeling them constructively and maintaining control over your responses. By applying these principles, you're not only elevating how others perceive you, but also strengthening your own sense of self. If you found value in this discussion, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from these insights. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your engagement helps us continue to bring meaningful content to this community. As you move forward, keep this in mind. True respect begins within. By respecting yourself and setting clear boundaries, you inspire others to treat you with the same regard. Until next time, stay composed, stay confident, and remember, you have the power to shape how the world sees you.